Welcome to another edition of Outlook Special. I am with former England Test spinner Monty Panesar. He's very famous for many things. He's one of the most successful left-arm spinners from England. Welcome to the show, Monty.
Thank you for inviting me.
I am Soumitra Bose. I work for the sports desk, and we have this special series called the Bibliophile, where we talk about cricketers, special people like you. And you have written this book called Monty Panesar, The Full Monty.
And it's forward by Andrew Flintoff.
Yes. What brings you to India?
Well, I'm here to launch my book, The Full Monty, and give an opportunity to the Indian fans about, in a book form, to know more about, how I've become successful as an international cricketer, the challenging times I faced as a cricketer, and what I want to do next in my life. And I thought I'd rather, you always get the opportunity, you ask yourself the question, what kind of book shall it be? Shall it be an honest account, or shall it just be another book? Scored 100 and I went to the next match, did really well, next match had a 5, or scoring 100. I've never scored 100 in international cricket, but yeah, maybe 5 wickets with me. But I think that's what I thought myself. Well, I might as well just give an honest account, and then the fans can make their decision on if it's a good or a bad book.
I'm told this is a brutally honest book where you being an Indian, or rather an Asian, we by nature, or our cricketers, are not always very honest about themselves or what they have done. I think you will probably buck that trend and probably inspire many people to come out with the truths of their life, especially the sports persons.
Yeah, because, this was the question, wasn't it? When I had the opportunity to write this book, now, I looked at myself, you have that moment, don't you, when you look yourself in the mirror and you think, what kind of book shall I make this? Shall I make an honest book, like you said, brutally honest, or shall I just feather it up a little bit and make it, fun and great? And I just thought to myself, I think this gives me an opportunity, to talk about it honestly, and any topics that maybe are slightly tough to talk about.
Yes.
The author kind of helped me to, pull out more information. So he said, look, this is only going to work if you're honest about it. And some of the stuff which are going to be slightly harder to talk about, just be honest about it. And I thought, why not?
Yeah, that's what I said. I mean, not too many people do it. In fact, the person who wrote the foreword, which is Freddie Flintoff, he's a bit of a character, isn't he?
Yeah.
And for him to write the foreword of this book is actually amazing. And I think one honest man writing about another honest man.
Yes, I think that's what it was. Freddie and me have had very similar characters, and I think that's why he probably picked me. First test match at Nagpur, we probably saw some parts of me that's in him, the way we love the game of cricket, the way we just really go at it. And also we committed, if there's a goal we want to set, we really go after it and want to achieve something in this life. And that's what he's done as well. He's done brilliantly.
Absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely. In fact, he's just not been a cricketer. He's been a boxer. He's been so many things. Like, I think if my memory serves me right, after Ian Botham, we didn't have too many characters in English cricket. Freddie Flintoff was one of them. You became one of them. You were really proud that there was an Indian guy who was doing this. And of course, Ben Stokes. And maybe when you revise this book again, you should have a chapter from Ben Stokes.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it'd be nice to add a Ben Stokes, chapter in there, because he did brilliantly in the last World Cup, and 12 months beforehand.
Yes.
At that obviously unfortunate incident
In the nightclub.
Outside a nightclub, yes. And then he's produced that unbelievable Test match at Headingley. That was amazing, what he did there. So I thought, he could win the Sports Personality of the Year on Sunday, which is the 15th.
Yes, in fact, talking of nightclubs, one of your controversial chapters has happened there. So, do you regret whatever happened, or was it something that happened as spur of the moment, or?
Yeah, well, look, I regret as a cricketer, moments like that. That's not the behaviour that we should be supposed to be telling. But I think what I realised that my relationship with alcohol probably wasn't great, and therefore I've kind of stopped drinking. It's been over sort of 18 months now where I don't really drink alcohol, because I think for me, for some people, their relationship with alcohol was great. Mine probably, you have a far too many, and it's probably not for me.
It's all right. I mean, you go through ups and downs in
Yeah.
your life, and probably that was one small little phase you like to forget and come out of it.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, you come from a very devout Sikh family,
Yes.
which believes in the Babaji, and I'm sure nobody likes to be like this, and that's what I said about honesty, that you being honest, and you wrote about this. But 2016 was not a very happy chapter for your life. You had a mental problem, you were paranoia. What happened? I mean, can you throw some light about it?
I think I had a session with a hypnotherapist where my friends just took me in a cafe, not telling me there's a hypnotherapist sitting joining us, and was chatting away, and then 5 minutes having a chat like this, and then the next 40 minutes I just didn't have a clue what was going on.
Okay.
And I was like, I felt like I wasn't there, and I couldn't make, any connection with the conversation. Like right now I'm speaking to you like this, and well, it's been more than 5 minutes, so I think I'm all right now.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so then I just couldn't really connect to anything, and then he realized that something isn't right. So he said, look, you're not well. I think you're mentally not well. There's something not right with you. We need to have a session. And then he took me for a session, and then when we had that session, I afterwards asked him, what do you think? Like, do I have a condition? What is it? And he goes, what it is? He goes, I think you have paranoia schizophrenia.
Yes.
And I go, what's that then? What is that? He goes, basically when your confidence goes low, you feel people around you, the surroundings, people around you, they're against you, they're not with you, umpires not giving you decisions, play teammates, whatever. And when your confidence goes low, you start getting paranoid around your surroundings. And he goes, that's what's happening to you.
Not many English left-arm fast bowlers have 100 wickets. You've taken at least 137 wickets, if I'm not wrong.
167.
167 wickets in 50 Test matches. Then that's a brilliant record. What brought this amount of fear in your mind that you might lose? Although Swan was kind of coming in, but you and Swan were different bowlers.
Yeah, I think sometimes what happens is that you just probably don't feel great, or you're probably putting too much pressure on yourself. Taking so many more balls to get a wicket than actually my normal strike rate, which was probably 10 to 11 overs, taking me 15 overs, 16 overs, some on a bad day 20 overs.
Yeah.
Right, and eventually that gets on top of you. There's only so many balls you have, in a match. So many balls you can bowl in a season, and suddenly the wickets are not matching up to that, and it kind of gets to you. And how long can you keep going like this? You're like, actually, it's just a real strain. I don't really like bowling so many balls to get a wicket.
Yes.
And you feel a little bit down, and you don't feel happy, with how life is at the moment. So you just think, maybe, well, go on then, let's just have a drop of alcohol, let's have some beer, go and watch football, let's forget about it. And you start drinking, and you feel uplifted. You think, this is all right, actually, I don't feel that bad after all.
Right.
And then suddenly I realised that maybe I was using alcohol as a way of, as an antidepressant, because it's a depressant itself. You don't realise it.
Yes.
Like sometimes when you don't, you feel a little bit down, and innocently you can just start drinking a few more, and then next thing you know, 1 to 5, 5 to 10, just to keep that mood uplifted. And that's when I realised that, I'm going to do something about this, and I'm going to holistically get better.
This has not happened with only you. It has happened with several sports persons. They have gone through this and very recently Glenn Maxwell took time off from cricket. He's trying to get back. And why do you think that it happens? Is it something, a mental condition that happens with international cricketers? I haven't seen many Indians going through this phase. In spite of playing so much of pressure, there's so much of pressure to get into the team, to earn money. But I have seen with several international cricketers. Michael Yadi Trescothick was one of them. Of course, you were one of the latest ones. But right now, we have even seen a very strong man like Glenn Maxwell going through this phase.
Yeah, I think because the reason is that it's just the pressure of cricket sometimes, traveling abroad, having the pressure. And sometimes when, you come to India, there's so many, several sportsmen who already said that why is it that in India, there's some people, who, we're very lucky, got so much, and some people don't have a lot, but they're so happy. and India always been like that, hasn't it? You come to India and people are just happy. They're really happy people, but in the other countries they have like I guess everything they want, but they're still not happy, and that's the beauty about coming to India. And I remember Sebastian Vettel, he said that, and he was like,
he's been to India.
Yeah, he comes to India and he goes, I just can't believe how happy people are with not much. And I think that's why he said like Indian players probably haven't gone through it. There've been some Bollywood stars who've talked about it, but even if Indian cricketers have gone through it, they probably wouldn't talk about it openly because they're in fear of losing their place, how competitive it is. But generally, I think India just has this very good happy factor.
The feel-good factor, you say, in terms of cricket.
Yeah.
It's not true for other sports, though. But anyway, that's a separate topic. But the fact remains that, could you take us a little bit through your book? What are the chapters one must read when they buy the book?
Well, as we go through it, there's many good chapters here.
Yes. True.
And well, there's obviously, the first chapter is a really good one. Most popular dog names of 2006.
And you have one dog called Rambo.
Yes.
I mean, even Rambo is a very, very character with a lot of strength. Because the moment you talk about Rambo, we think about Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah. So if you want to see a picture of Rambo, which is in here, you can show people. That's Rambo.
Okay.
It's me and Rambo here.
Wow. So it's Rambo and Monty. Rambo is Monty's dog, and he lives in Luton.
He lives in Luton. We was recently part of a program called Documentary Back Home.
Okay, documentary.
Yeah, and sometimes when you're busy at work and you come home and you open the door and there it is, unconditional love, and Rambo kind of helped me. Through my sort of tough times as well.
Yes.
It's like a companion. He's always there. Like you're
Yes.
sitting watching TV, he's still barking at you.
Yeah.
So I think pets are a great sort of companion, as well as to make you
Like
feel
a true friend.
Yes, I would say.
They say dog is your true friend.
Like dogs, is a man's best friend, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, in this book, you have also written a chapter about ball tampering. You've been extremely honest, saying that yes, you were sometimes setting up the ball for the pacers to reverse swing, the use of saliva and other things, substances. I mean, and you talked about the zip, that rubbing the ball. These are conditions that cricketers do. But do you think that what happened with the sandpaper gate was correct?
Oh, that was it's like. If you want to be subtle about cheating, that was just, let's be really obvious about it. We take sweets, you can put a little bit of Vaseline maybe on your trousers, like everyone used to do that, right? It's no big conspiracy.
Yeah.
But what they were doing is really proper, it was planned out. We're going to get a sandpaper it, and then polish it. But I guess, Steve Smith kind of took, and David Warner took most of that.
Yes, correct.
They took it on responsibility for being what they did, and they had their punishment, and they've come back. They've done really well. Steve Smith has had a brilliant Ashes series, and recently David Warner scored a triple century. So it shows that from your mistakes you can come back and get on top of your cricket.
You were in India 2012.
Yeah.
Do you recollect playing your first test match? Your first wicket was Sachin Tendulkar?
Yeah, I remember, his first. I think it's a new stadium now, isn't it? It's not the old one, Nagpur. Do they still play cricket there? Or is it
they play, yeah.
Okay, domestic cricket,
yes.
probably, yeah. So there, I remember taking, his wicket, which I was surprised, hit the pad, as you naturally do, it hits the pad, and you don't see the stumps, so you just appeal, and you're obviously giving it out, and I just ran towards point. And I never celebrated like that ever for a wicket.
So that was the best celebration you did?
Best celebration ever with my first test wicket. It was a great introduction to international cricket.
You're a bit of a cult figure in England, with your beard, with your black patka or your turban, and they have had competitions on beard, and after you. So how did you like that adulation? Although they made fun of your fielding sometimes, but the point is this: your beard and your potka and your and your wide-eyed celebration, the way you ran, it really made headlines.
Yeah, I guess it was my character that people liked. You know, they loved the way I gave a full 100% effort. You know, any contest that was there, I wouldn't shy away. As a typical British, Punjabi, or that British bulldog spirit that we have, and just any contest, if the best players, I have to bowl to them, I bowl to them. And I think that's the bit they liked about me. Just works hard, tries hard, and he makes really clumsy mistakes. You must remember it in 2006, that Dhoni catch.
Yes.
So 1 minute I dropped the catch, and 10 metres over there. I've never done that ever in county cricket, and there you go. I've done a very, very embarrassing moment, and then I don't take the catch 2 balls later. So it just shows that 1 minute you're a zero, next minute you can become a hero. So sports, you're very fickle like that.
That's pressure for you. In fact, the amount of pressure it brings on you, especially when you wear the England colour or England cap. But I'm surprised to see you today wearing a white patka or a white turban. So you've been quite a statement of fashion. People have kind of woven fashion around you, especially your beard, and sometimes they have even called you the monster or the sultan or the python. So all these kind of nicknames that Monty Panesar got in his life, how do you look up to that? Obviously everybody doesn't have these kind of nicknames. I think you should feel proud about it.
Yeah, I do. It makes me feel like great. I have so many different nicknames. The python obviously comes from the spitting cobra. Off a length, I get it to like zip and faster. That people say, oh, that was another spitting cobra from Monty Panesar. So they're the sort of nicer terms which I like, or the Terminator maybe. But they haven't really talked about my batting or my catching or anything like that. But these names are great. It's great to have so many different nicknames.
Yeah, I mean, you're very few bowlers who gave the ball the air. I mean, it's something that you don't get to see nowadays. And you're a very traditional left-arm spinner But how did your colleague, especially the senior batsmen, treat you in terms of because spinner needs to be backed by the captain, because there are times when you can get hit. Who do you think was your best captain?
My best captain was Michael Vaughan, and he loved my celebrations, because I think sometimes the way my energy was so positive that it would actually uplift the team. And if there's another team member who's probably thinking, I'm not enjoying today, they'll probably think actually tomorrow I'm going to enjoy my cricket like Monty enjoyed today. Do you know what I mean? And then that would help them as well. So me being really positive, enjoying my cricket, was a reflection of how they should enjoy Test cricket as well.
Yes.
And I think that was probably a real standout point when I played Test cricket. It's sometimes there's a lot of players, they work ever so hard to get to a goal, and they all play Test cricket, that sometimes you forget to enjoy that moment.
Yes.
I finally got to the destination, I'm finally doing what I really want to do, really enjoy it, because you don't know how long it's going to last. And I really enjoyed my moments, in Test cricket. That's one thing I didn't stop. I really enjoyed every wicket, enjoyed playing Test cricket.
Absolutely, we saw that every time you played cricket. But unfortunately, after 2013, you haven't played much cricket, because the thing is, whatever it is, because of your mental condition, and then maybe your lack of form. But 2017 was very, very instrumental in the fact that you were called upon as an advisor to the Australian team on the tour before, I think, India.
Yeah.
And what lessons did you give to your batsmen?
Well, what I said, the Indian batsmen, they're very good at picking the length. Okay, and the soil, you have to bowl differently on the different soils. So the red soil, you have to you can't just don't rely on the pitch turning square. The Indian batsmen want you to bowl it with no flight, because then they'll judge the length and it's easy. Turning ball is easy for them to play. It's more about judging the length. And if your flight is good and you use the width of the crease really well, so that's the kind of stuff I was telling of Steve O'Keefe. I didn't realise it would be such an impact, the little tips I was giving him, but it really, really helped him a lot, and it was great to see, him perform really well in India.
You talked about Test cricket, but if you look at the competition in Test cricket, it's getting too one-sided. West Indies don't know how to play Test cricket. Many nations just are forgetting how to play cricket. You can count the number of classy batsmen in the fingertips, how many of them are there. England don't have too many, New Zealand don't have too many, Australia don't have too many. It seems the balance is too much heavily in the Indian side.
I think it is. I think India are probably producing the best, batsmen at the moment that are adapting for white ball cricket as well as, test match cricket, and it's quite, look at the positions. They don't lie. World Championships, test positions, they're like already 360 points. Second team is at 60. So you can see the massive contrast that Indian cricket is having, and that's going to be this Indian team's challenge. Can they now replicate the performances that they're having in India abroad? And if they start doing that, then well, I don't know if this makes you feel good, but set for world domination.
You saw the Indian team during the World Cup, right? Of course, that was 50 over cricket, but what's been the biggest transition for the Indian cricket team is the ability of the fast bowlers. They can rattle opposition, which you've seen. So I think, given that the fact that the fast bowlers have come to the party, they already have the classy spinners. As you said, they have the best batsmen. Do you think India is right now invincible and can go on to break records overseas?
Yeah. So like they've had 6 wins in a row, and I think the world record is 11.
Yeah.
11, isn't it? Yeah, so they need to beat New Zealand twice, and they'll have a couple of overseas wins. Like if they beat that record, right, then I think this is an invincible team. Or let's say they don't. It's only one or the other, right, in terms of the outcome. But if they don't, then you kind of get the impression that India are invincible in India, but not an invincible team. In all conditions.
Absolutely. You still have to be convinced that India can beat other teams abroad.
Yes.
And we can only hope that now the balance of the team looks very good. Now that the fast bowlers have come in, you must have heard about Jasprit Bumrah. He's been quite an impact.
Yeah, he's been an impact. He's another Punjabi Sikh boy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and he bowls fast.
Very fast.
Yes.
With an unusual action.
Yes, so that's really unheard of. Someone, we tend to just, Bishop Singh Bedi, Harbhajan Singh, Monty Panesar, all like sort of Punjabis who are spinners. And there's obviously Navjot Singh, Sidhu, who was a great player of spin bowling. John Embry keeps reminding me of how many sixes he used to hit him out of the ground.
Yes.
So we never had like a fast bowler play for the India team. And now there's someone there, and he's like I think a product of the IPL. Someone who played T20, unorthodox, unusual style, able to play 3 forms, and I think he's going to be very useful abroad. And I think Virat Kohli's got a real asset.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My last question, and Monty Panesar hasn't retired yet. He's not officially retired. He has written a book. People write books, make comebacks, and there are those miraculous stories about our own sports persons. What's Monty Panesar's life going to be?
I think I'm going to try and see if I can make a comeback after January, train with Northants, and let's see if I can make a comeback as well. Because I love to make a comeback, play professional cricket again. And then
play for England?
England again. There's another tour of India. Who knows? You may be interviewing me this time as an England player.
Absolutely. I'm still interviewing you as an England player. Monty Panesar, you may be an ex-player, but you still have life to go.
Yes.
As you said, and you're a very young man.
Yeah, so like my long-term, plans, so this short-term plan for next year probably be see if I can make a comeback in cricket. Then the longer-term plans is going to be, become a unbelievable media presenter. So hopefully I can, get some media presenting work in India. I would love to do that, and also see if I can speak Hindi well and become a Bollywood actor as well.
Good luck, and thanks for your time for Outlook.
Thank you.
Thank you.